Dave, I'm in the comic room. Today is January 17th, and it's really exciting to be back in here making a video. And uh, I've had a lot of people who have reached out to me and wondered where I was, wondered what I'm doing, and that's as always with this community, I'm always humbled by that. But I thought I would make a video and I'd say hi to people out there in YouTube land, all my friends out there who either have time now to tune in or maybe are going to watch a video later. I thought I'd update and tell you what's been going on with me, and probably pretty similar to what's been going on with everyone else. But I've made some changes in the comic room, quite a few exciting things. But I thought what I would do is I would try to do this live stream, and I'll actually at some point I'll pick up the iPad and I'll move about the room. And what happened, I shared with someone just a little bit ago. Someone left me another note saying, "Hey, where you been?" Really complimentary. I love the note, and just on YouTube, as a comment. And I said, "Oh, I just filmed a video. I did like maybe 45 minutes ago. I did a walk around on this thing, and what happened is a funny story. Is I was supposed to get a brand new phone back in what was it, maybe June or July, and I took my daughter with me, who is lovely, Gwen, my little spider Gwen, and somehow when we left the Verizon store, I had my same phone, which is getting older, and she had a new iPhone 11 that I was paying for, and then my wife got her old phone. So I don't know how that deal worked out, but what happened is I filmed a video on this a little while ago, and then as I was sharing with Don Dizzle, I believe, um, uh, and so what happened was I filmed the video, but the camera's like having focus problems, and that happened to me a couple of years ago. And basically, what happens is maybe from overuse, the camera lens has gone bad, and it's about $100 fix at the Apple store. So at some point, on top of buying my daughter a new iPhone 11 and getting nothing in return, on top of that, I'm going to have to put a new camera in here. But she's lovely and helps us out all the time, so I don't mind doing that. So I want to do a quick shout out. Hello to Logan, the comic collector. Hello, Logan, great local comic collector. Gary Jones from the UK. How you doing, Gary Jones? Nice to have you in here. Don Dizzle, how you doing, buddy? Randall, great to see you. Linkovich, always a pleasure to see you. And then Big O, great. How's Silver doing? Yeah, a lot of people have reached out to me separately in real life, and I just maybe a week ago had a great conversation. I don't know how long I was on the phone with Alan Garrett, but he's just a joy. So I happen to have this on my desk. I call these the Alan Garrett special. Anytime there's a romance comic that comes into the comic room, I always consider those Alan Garrett specials. On top of having one of the greatest collections I know of, he also has just a terrific romance collection, and Model Millie and all that stuff. So Alan Garrett, that's for you. Silver Age guy has reached out. A lot of people have reached out. I'm not going to go through. It's a long and impressive list of people who were worried about me, and I finally have time to take a deep breath and make a video. So that's what we're going to do today. So I want to start off by saying, I hope 2020 finished off well for you. I think most of us, probably everyone was impacted pretty heartily by events of last year, of all different sizes and shapes and forms. So rather than dwell on that, what I try to do is I always try to see the bright side in things. And hey, Joe Bag of Sevens. I think that's the nickname there. Yes, we are live. We're coming at you. Great legend used to say, "Coming at you live," and he was one of my entry points into the comic community, actually being in the comic community. So I always appreciate the great legend for that. We've got 713 Comics, who's wondering where I've been. Good to see you too. Thank you so much. Bat Avenger, one of my favorite guys. Everyone, please stand up and clap for the Bat Avenger, one of the greatest guys in the community, and just a great dad, great man, great collector. If you want to know anything about this hobby, he's your man. So if you're not subbed to Bat Avenger, please type his name after this video is done. Type his name in. I don't think there's a way to leave links. I don't know how to leave links, but great guy and a great friend, and I appreciate you, buddy. So go Brown, says Thomas Gray. There you go. Yeah, from Cleveland Browns, and I'm in Toledo, so certainly I root for the Browns, and again, appreciate all you guys. So 2020 for me was generally a good year. Spent a lot of time with family, did some collecting, some improvements on the room, lot of running successes. You guys maybe know that. Hey Matt, nice. Yeah, it's been a long time. William Smallwood, how you doing, Bubba? Nice to see you, sir. I gotta have a sip of my lunch pop, which I haven't been doing a lot of, but I'm having one today. So generally speaking, it wasn't a terrible year for silver. Certainly some challenges. There were some losses that were taken during 2020, some life challenges and loved ones that will be missed. But when you sum up the whole year, I don't think I've had a year left yet where I say, okay, time to throw in the towel. One of my favorite quotes is from Walter Payton. Maybe we'll talk about that later, but he basically defines what a champion, and a champion isn't the person who necessarily wins the game or the match or the race. It's the person who leaves it all on the field. And so that's how I want to go down, is I'm going to leave everything on the field that I've got. So 2020 was a tough year, but that leads us to 2021. And I just am going to attack 2021 as a great opportunity, right? As long as we have opportunity, we got to attack it. So, Johnny, nice to see you, buddy. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm back. I don't know how regular my videos will be, but I'm back. So this is a stack of stuff that I've been buying. I've been to a few comic stores in the last month or so. This is kind of a cool thing right here. Rupp's Comics in Fremont, Ohio is one of my favorite stores, and this is a Rupp's exclusive, and I can't even tell you what this is. I don't even know what comic book that is, but they had that on the shelf for 39 bucks, and I thought that is beautiful. So I might buy another couple of them because it's a cool cover, and it's certainly, I think if there's a 10.0 out there, Rupp's does a good job of taking care of their books. So I've just been buying little things here and there. This was kind of interesting to me, Gwenom Carnage. But truth be told, I'm so far out of the loop on comic stuff. I've watched a couple of Jim videos. I watch a little bit of Bueller now and then, but really I'm out of the loop. There's a few auctions that happen. Gorilla Todd, seems like those guys are metaphorical. I think they're auctioning every night, and I've popped in there. I don't think I've bought anything from them, but I've popped in there every now and then. But watching an auction for me is never going to be quite the same as really connecting with people. Hey, Lego Builder, nice to see you, man. So thank you so much, Johnny. I really appreciate that. Take care of your knees. Hey, I'm running strong. I put on a lot of weight since my last race, but I'm running strong now, and I've got a birthday coming up in April. I'm going to run 53 miles on that day. That's a goal. Hopefully I'll complete. And then I've got a race in July, Burning River 100 miler. That's July 20. I think it's 24th and 25th. And then I've got Oil Creek 100 miler in Pennsylvania. That's in October. And I'll probably do some other stuff in between there. But I've got big positive attitude, and so that's what I'm going to do. But hey, Dave, do avoid COVID. Guys, so controversial. I've gone through 2020 protecting other people as best I could. And I'm not in a high risk category other than I'm in my 50s. I'm not in a high risk category. So I've kind of treated it myself like any year that has a bad flu. And I am not saying COVID is the flu. Don't be haters. But asking me about avoiding COVID, I've been to grocery stores. I've gotten together with friends. I've had local collectors come into the comic room and we hang out and we drink beers. And, you know, in those settings, it's on the honor system that, hey, I'm not feeling sick. I haven't been exposed. You're not feeling sick. Let's get together. And so I've drank a few beers with people, drunken a few beers. I'm not sure what the past, present, and future tense of that would be, but had a few beers with people and really just kind of like when we go into comic stores. But when the stores were closed, life finds a way. So life for me found a way. So that's what I did. Yeah, Lego Builder has been watching a lot of videos. Lego Builder has a wall like this and has been changing things up and talked about doing a Spider-Man comic book wall and so with the soda can behind it. That's awesome. Yeah, just like Silver does with the, I've got Bud Light cans behind this bottom row. But Lego Builder's another good one. Everyone should sub up everyone, but Lego Builder's got an interesting thing going on. Live your life, Dave. Yeah, exactly. The media, and again, this isn't political. It doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. Your life is best lived if you're just in the middle and just living your life. The people on the media side of things, they do best when we're all up in arms about something and tuning in. So I choose not to do that. I'm not perfect at it. I get upset about things, trust me. But yeah, so you got to live your life. So what do you guys think? You want to look around the room a little? I can pick up this thing, or I can show you some comics that probably you've seen a million times that other people have bought and purchased. And oh, this is kind of a cool thing. I don't know if Reaper Tate watches my stuff at all, but I happened to come across this Mad Magazine special, and it was really cool, I thought, how they had this, you know, the tie-in there. And so anyway, I thought I would share that. It says, featuring 16 pages of never-before published material, plus the usual assortment of garbage from past issues. So look at that. Go figure, right? Cool stuff. So let us take a sip of pop, right? We got to have our lunch pop sometimes. All right. I'm going to pick this thing up. My old system of mounting the camera doesn't work for making videos. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry this around, and hopefully I won't shake too bad. I'm going to be watching along, and you know, a lot of this stuff hasn't changed. Now this box right here, and this is tough because I'm like 10 seconds behind. Hey Musings, how you doing, man? And Comics on the Mind must be in here because I see Mind. This box, my old system of mounting wasn't working great for filming a video, so I improvised. I MacGyvered it, and that's always good when you can MacGyver something. So this part of the room really hasn't changed very much. I've got the wall. I think I'm going to go back to, at one point a long time ago, I did 20-cent number ones, and that was really exciting for me. And in another time, I did like all dinosaurs and space aliens and things. And so I might try to do that. I did move some stuff around. Nothing terribly exciting. I keep boxes of stuff, and sometimes I'll pull stuff out of those boxes and put other stuff into the boxes. So I did a little bit of changing out. Yeah, there's Comics on the Mind. Nice to see you. Good morning, my friend. I'm having a beer, so I want to clarify. It's afternoon for me, but if you're not here in Ohio, then maybe it's morning. Oh, Gem Mint did a room tour. How you doing, Matt? Nice to see you. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Gem Mint has just incredible content. You can't argue with the perfection. And if you want trades or, you know, those types of things, those collectives, I mean, he has everything cool. And in fact, I think one of the books that I bought for my son gets into Berserk, which I think is manga, but I think I first saw it on Jem Mint's channel. And those are pricey. I think there's 5 books, and we bought him one of the books last year, and he liked it. So I got to get on the ball buying him some new books. Some of this stuff changed over here a little bit. I wanted to neaten things up a little bit, so I cleaned it up. I moved some Megos around, and the Marvel value stamps used to be on the other side of the room, and they were always messy looking. Whoops, guys! Hopefully we're still alive. Are we still alive? There we go. That was a catch. Basically, the iPad fell, and my lightning reflexes, like Peter Parker, somehow is able to save it. Holy mackerel. Sorry about that. Now it's time to take your anti-nausea medications. I think I see Poor Man's Comics in here, and I thought I saw Slim as the iPad was falling to the ground. I think I saw a Slim on there. Nice to see you, Slim. And Mastodon's in here. Nice to see you, Mastodon. Love the Mastodon channel. And C. Woodards. Hey, yo. Nice to see you, C. Wood. Haven't seen a lot of C. Wood, but YouTube's funny because when you're not watching a lot of comic book videos, then you tend to miss out on things. It's not giving you the all the suggestions. So this area down here on the floor was always a mess. I had all kinds of slabs lined up, and it just got real messy. So I cleaned some of that stuff up. Over here, up on this wall, and this is tricky, like pointing the iPad one place. Hopefully I'm not too shaky. As I get older, I'm a little shakier than I used to be. So up here, way in the back, I keep boxes of stuff that I don't want to say don't have room for, but I just don't see all the time. So I pulled a few things out of those boxes and put quite a few things back into those boxes. So this upper area is always exciting to me because I can sort it out any way I want. And I feel like I'm one of those Walt Disney people, the Imaginarians, or whatever they call it. I think Alan Garrett and I were talking about it, or someone I was talking to about that. And you can make it look like anything you want. Ultimately, though, that's just a bunch of storage boxes back there. And then this top shelf here used to be some other stuff that was up there. And these are Davco prints. Any of the old people that remember going into Sears Roebuck and Montgomery Ward's, and there were a few other stores back then that sold stuff like this. They're pretty unique, having them with the frames and in near mint condition like they are. But I can tell I'm getting shaky. So I changed that up. I did like a little Batman display up there. I've got my walkie-talkies. Those work, by the way. Okay, and in the little Very Views, that's those guys right there, which are kind of a hologram. I don't know if I can make them hologram this way, but change that shelf up a little bit. Not a whole lot changed up here. I was going to move stuff around, but the way I've got them set up is pretty tough to change anything. I've got my Smokey and the Bandit car and my Dukes of Hazzard car. There's a Welcome Back Cotter, which that's been there for a while, I think. And you gotta let me see if I can get focused on it here. This is tricky business. So so then one of the biggest things that I changed was on this wall. I ended up doing lunch boxes across the top, and in some other things. These super cases, probably not a lot of people are real familiar with them, but they hold little records, the little 78s. And I'll try to hold this thing a little steadier. And so they open up and you put records in them. But I always thought they were cool just for what they are, the artwork on them. So the two side ones, that's the front of the box. And then the one in the middle there, that's the back of the box. And then the sides of them, they have the the names of those DC heroes on them. And I always thought they were cool. So I had them on the floor. I had them in storage, and I had them on the floor. And I thought I'd move them up. And most of the people that watch my videos are dudes, okay? That's all of you guys. But every now and then a girl might click on the video. So I put a Donnie and Marie thermos up there, and all of us in this particular age bracket, we were all fans of Donnie and Marie, even if we didn't want to admit it. But there's one for the ladies, a little Donnie Osmond for you. And then up here in the front, which this shelf was always a holy mess, I changed this up and I decided to put some slabs. All these boxes up here, I'm pointing, and hopefully I pointed. All those boxes up there are older things, either magazine size or they go to Golden Age books. Most of these across here, behind the Avengers, all the way to the Spider-Gwen, those are all Golden Age books. And so I put some slabs across the front, and I did a few books here that I like to see that were just in odd places. And so I coordinated them a little bit more. I'm a fan of the Killing Joke, and I did like the Three Jokers series. And I know the number 3 got mixed reviews, but I think generally it was pretty well done. Bad Avenger, always thinking of you, buddy. And then the Joker #1. I wish I had about 10 of those. For some reason, it's a book that I'm real limited on in my collection. And Lego Builder, there's some Spider-Man stuff that maybe is not typical stuff you wouldn't normally see. And I thought maybe you'd watch this video, so I wanted to put that stuff out. A couple of those Spider-Man magazines. And as always, the artwork. People have done beautiful artwork for me. My friend Ray did this one, and he did the Red Hulk over there, and appreciate that. And Miss Matilda Gothica from Israel did the Swampy for me, and I really appreciate that. So that's kind of the comic tour. So I'm going to sit back down, and I'm going to reattach. What I use when I'm filming a video is basically I attach my iPad to this thing, which is just a book holder. So excuse the mess of things I'm doing here. So I basically just use like little clips. Whoops. What did I do? Did I do something? I use these little clips, and I just attach it there, and so it can't fall off. And then I'm going to set it up on this box so that it's pointing to the desk, and that'll be good enough. So anyway, life so far in 2021 is going well. We're going to church on Sundays, which we really missed last year being able to do that. I'm going to take a sip of comic pop here, and I'm going to catch up. Probably missed out a little bit. Who do we got? Wow, look at that. We got Hialeah in here. Steven Spock is in here. And Jackson Roy Kirk. Great to see you, buddy. Thank you so much. Great to see you too. Hialeah. Silver sighting, he says. Thank you. And Matt Woods. Yeah, the single records. When you're a kid. See, most of us that are old enough, we remember if you missed Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown on the night before Halloween or whatever night it showed, you missed it for a year. That wasn't coming back. And even like when Star Wars came out in 1977, I remember my parents bought me the Star Wars album, and I would listen to the record album because there wasn't a DVD player. That stuff, you saw the movie at the movie theaters, and that was it until years later when it was on free TV, which that takes a while. We've got Jerry the Jitterbug, the Batman prints that were sold in Sears, and at times you could meet Batman and Robin. Absolutely, Jerry. Those things are really, really rare because they're almost on like a press board, and finding them in good condition is really, really tough. And then beyond that, having the frames on them is near impossible. So I feel fortunate to have them. Those are not my originals. I think I had the two little ones, the two side ones as a kid, but we weren't a very wealthy family, so we didn't have the bigger print. We just had the two side ones. Anyway, So that's a lot of the excitement that's been going on in my life. Like I said, I've got a lot of races to do. I'm going to be running a lot. I'm going to be hopefully spending a lot of time with family. 2020, that was a real nice blessing. Was lots of time with family and not as much with friends, which is disappointing. But one of my goals for this year haven't changed. I want to buy every single comic. I want to do comic play dates. So there's an open invite. If you happen to be passing through Northwest Ohio, I'm very close to the Ohio Turnpike that runs, from Chicago, out to Cleveland and beyond, out into Pennsylvania. And so if you're passing through the area, there's an open invite. I'll supply some of these Bud Lights and we'll hang out and talk comics. And so those are my two big goals. Comic saves. Sometimes people will call me, they have a collection that they were just going to dumpster. And so I want to do some comic saves. And sometimes it's as simple as going through a book that's trashed and finding something like that, okay, that you can cut out of it. And unfortunately, you got to recycle the rest of the book, but sometimes you can save parts or pieces, which I've done in the past. And so I want to do some comic saves. And then a lot of laughs, I had a lot of laughs in 2020, and not like Leslie Nielsen and Priscilla Presley in the Naked Gun movie where they're walking out of Platoon and they're laughing so hard. Not like that kind of laughs, but did have a lot of good times with family and with some friends. So hopefully we'll have a lot more of those. And so those are my goals. And the big goal, though, is one that goes back to being stoic. Sometimes you have to approach things without emotion. But in 2021, because last year was so difficult, I'm trying to enter 2021 with a great attitude and be on the attack and look for the good stuff. It was easy to find the bad stuff, and this past year and this next year, I just want to focus on the good stuff. So I'm turning off my TV. I'm turning off politics. I already don't get the newspaper. I already don't watch the typical news. But I'm going to try to zone out and focus on the things I love, which is family and in comics and running and all that good stuff. And you guys are certainly part of the good stuff. Jackson Roykirk, I completely agree. The world needed to slow down a little bit. This is a little bit crazy. So hopefully it'll pick back up in Lego Builder, born in Ohio. That's great. Yeah, go Buckeyes. Congratulations to not to Clemson. Clemson, they did great. We just maybe outcoached them. Same thing happened to us. Alabama, gosh, it was, I am never, you'll never hear this from me again. I am a Buckeye through and through. It was a pleasure watching Coach Saban work. I explained to my son, we're watching that game. First half was okay. Second half was tough to watch. But it was a pleasure watching someone like Nick Saban, who my son is, today's his 20th birthday. Happy birthday, Gabe. But I told Gabe, you'll probably go your whole life and never again see a coach like Nick Saban. So dominant. And it was just, as much as I would have rather seen any other team getting put together, it was my Buckeyes, sadly, but it was a pleasure watching a great coach, do great things. So, we're looking forward to great things in 2021. My family, my clan, and I hope you guys find great things in 2021. They're out there as long as we look for them. This is kind of a cool thing for you older category people. I think I showed this once before. It's a 1978 catalog of Matchbox cars. It's almost like looking through the old Sears catalog. When you pick these things up, you get to see all these things. You're like, I had this. You can actually remember back. And some of you guys that were born in the 70s or the 80s or 90s, you have this stuff too. It's newer stuff than this, but it doesn't make it any less special. Once you're looking back 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, there's a lot of special stuff that we get to see and think about, and that nostalgia comes back. So I took a little break from YouTube and really a little break from the comic room. But it's not like you lose that love and feeling. You know, you get back into it, and it's all the passion and the joy that it brings you, and so I wish that for everyone. If you've stepped away from things you love for a little while because of whatever events you had last year, then you know, I certainly pray for you that you can find those joys again. And joys isn't ever going to come from, you know, from money or things. It really shouldn't. But in my case, it kind of does. I come across little things that are pretty special or unique, or, you know, I certainly wasn't alive when this Superman card came out. That's the first, one of the first Lex Luthors ever, and that's back in the day when he had hair. So I come across things and I say, man, that really takes me back. Takes me back to something I wasn't even around for, right? But it brings me joy. It just does. And I wish that for you in 21, that great things find you and that you find great things. So guys, I don't know what else to say. I really appreciate it. And so many people are in here that I appreciate. And I just saw him. There he is. Guess who's here? Oh, yes, it's Mr. Chris, everybody. Chris Lackey's in here. And Chris, I was just thinking about you, buddy, that there's a time, and Stephen Hulk, I'm going to say hi to you. Totally agree with you. Don't read political comments on political videos. Vin C is in here. But Chris Lackey, there was a night, and this is years ago now, that I was watching some YouTube, and I probably had a cocktail or two in me, and I happened across Chris Lackey's channel for the first time ever. I'd never seen it before, and he was doing a video where he's showing some books. So I'm going to show some books, but it reminded me of Tool Time Tim. I don't even know what the show was, but there's the neighbor where you could never quite see his face. It was always him peeking over a fence. So Chris Lackey had this exact vase, okay, with which Mrs. Chris Lackey collects these kind of stoneware, whatever this is, I can't even tell you. And what Chris was doing was he was showing books. He was using this, and he was showing books like this. And then I'm going to try to recreate the Chris Lackey video. Then he was like this, looking over. He was sitting on the couch behind it. But I found it so funny, and I was watching the video, and I was laughing so hard. And he was showing great comic books, and I laughed so hard. So right after his video, like a big dum-dum, I went on eBay, and I think I spent $40 for this Hull pottery. And you know, I don't know why I bought it, but Chris, you're awesome. Love watching your channel. Yeah, Wilson, the neighbor, perfect. Trap House Zombie, great to see you, buddy. So that is my first time I found Chris Lackey, and loved the channel ever since. Always get a kick out of it. And so people who've asked frequently, what's the deal with this? And I put a little mask on you, Mr. Chris, just for, you know what? But it's 2021. So I'm getting rid of the mask on Chris Lackey just for today. We want to see all of Chris Lackey. So what I did, I custom made this mask, by the way, which I think I did a really good job. I took an actual mask and I cut it down, and I surgically put these little ties in there. Isn't that beautiful? So I put little glasses on them because Chris Lackey wears glasses. So, and I put a Mr. Chris. So that's Mr. Chris, everyone. And that's it. Yeah, Chris, you're welcome for the mask. We want to, you know, we want to be correct last year. And so that's that, guys. Thank you all so much. I got, I don't know how many people, 40 people in here. And is that the 1.5 appearance of Celery Jim? Yeah, I've been on camera before a couple of times. I don't do it that often. And, you know, it's not for any other reason than what's special to me is the comic books. And when I started making videos, I just felt more comfortable off camera. And there's plenty of channels that do the no faces thing, and that's wonderful. And there's plenty of people that do the faces thing, and that's wonderful. The most important thing is, are we focusing on, you know, the thing that brings us all together, which is these beautiful comics right here, all this awesome stuff. I've got lots and lots of work to do. I've expanded my comic zone. So Alan Garrett talked about this on a recent video. He has a extra room in his house that he has expanded, so he now has 2 rooms. Well, Silver Age Dave actually has 3 rooms now. And I've got this room, which you're all very familiar with. And at some point, I might share the other 2 rooms with you guys. I built, I have these, I'm pointing up like you guys can look up. I built blackout screens for these 3 windows. And in the room I'm currently working on, I just built identical blackout screens for that because you got to keep the light out of the room. So that room is going to be kind of a work room. I'm going to split my collection soon. This room is going to be DC and Marvel. The other room is going to be Image and all the other stuff, the Charlton and all the different makes and models of comics are going to be in this other room. I did buy a comic press last year. I have a guy I met, he had a t-shirt business and he was going out of business, and so I bought this t-shirt press from him. I'll show a couple of these. I've shown these before, but I bought a very, very expensive t-shirt press. I can actually fit 5 comic books on it at the same time, but the electric hookup on it is the same as you would have with a dryer. It's like serious business. So I have a buddy that's going to come over and we're going to, wire it up. But I've owned the thing for more than 6 months, 8 months, 12 months. I don't know. I don't think we were wearing masks when I bought it. And it's just sitting there. And so I'm going to start pressing some of my own comics, not to make money or necessarily sell, but just to, some comics I have are old and special to me. Like this Alan Garrett special has a big wrinkle in it. Okay, so I might put this one in the press just to straighten it out, which it also has a little rip on the back here. Okay, no pressing is going to fix that, but it'll make the cover look a little nicer. The rips on the back, I'll make the front look nice. And then I've got a third room that I set up that is, I'm going to call it an eBay room is how it started. But during the lockdowns, when comic book stores closed, I'm a pretty social creature. I like meeting people. And I like going to comic stores. And I felt like, well, this isn't happening, so I got to create something. So I reached out to some local Toledo collectors and I said, hey, stores are closed, but I've got more comics than I know what to do with. So if you've got holes in your collection, you want to hang out for a few hours, come on over. And they would come over. Well, what I did is I built a room that's got like a big desk in it and some shelves. And if they said, hey, I want to look at, Fantastic Four, well, then I would drag Fantastic Four boxes in there and we'd go through them. And where I'm buying collections now, I have a set room that's a little more professional, and people come in and we actually sit at a desk and I can look through the collections. So I was telling Alan Garrett, it's really great to have that side space. I used to just, sometimes you'd sit in the garage and look at books or whatever. So that's the third room. And it's not decked out. I've got some comic book cool stuff in it, but it's not really decked out like this place. Okay, it's more, professional type of setting. So those are my 3 rooms, and I'm really excited. So as time goes on, I might share some of that with you guys in a video coming up soon. So yeah, can't wait for conventions to start up soon. That will be awesome. Matt's got an office, and it sounds like that's a really great space. I'd love to drink a Bud Light in that space with you, Matt. So yeah, comic room. Hey, you know what? I don't have the box right here where I can get it, but my first comic book room was a big shoebox. It was really like you'd buy a shirt. I think it was from Montgomery Ward's, but it was just a box that maybe, a shirt came in that my dad bought. It was a red box, and it was big enough that that a Treasury comic could fit in it, but it was under my bed. That was my comic room. And where the heck did I put it? Hang on a second. This was, yeah, just found this. And this was one of my earliest inventories of comic books, and it's comical when I look through it. Is I would make a list of issues, and so I would go through and I'd write down all the issue numbers, and I would check off like if I needed it or if I really wanted it or if I had it, and it was very basic in nature. But you know, back in the day, I could go to a comic store and I could know what I had. So whether, you know, no matter what your comic book room is or looks like, that part doesn't matter. It's just, do you have the passion for the hobby, and you know, is it something that's special to you? The setting doesn't matter. It's, you know, how you feel about stuff. So okay, so let's see here. We've got Stephen Hulk said, "What keys are you after in 2021?" I'm after Iron Man 128. So let me see something here. I just happen to have Stephen Hulk. I said I cleaned up that back area. I happen to have that right here, the Iron Man 128. So I wish you luck. It's a book that's I think underappreciated. So hopefully you get a good deal. And those of you who watched the No Faces Christmas special, this was two Christmases ago, I actually went through and I made the special Christmas variant of this issue that I said is very rare. You can't find it. And I had this little tag, which was just hanging up here on the wall. I just saw it yesterday. And so that was my take on why he was drinking. So this is a one of a kind that you have that. But anyway, I wish you luck in finding that special issue, which is really cool to have. I think I have two of them. This is probably the better of the two. And every now and then a collection will come in that has that. But usually the stuff that, you know, when collections get to me, usually they've been to a comic store or they've been cherry picked a little bit. So Silver Age Spidey for Matt, that's great. And the thing that I'm still working on that's pretty out of the ordinary is going to be these. I don't know if I can. No, I'm going to set that one over here. I don't know if I should talk about them because I don't want a lot of competition. But these, hold on, guys. These mini books that a lot of you know that I collect these. I don't have a full set of them yet. Okay, that was the Gumball Machine tag. This is a reproduction. So that was on the Gumball Machine. You'd put 5 cents or 10 cents into it, and you'd get out the little bubble, okay, the little plastic bubble, and it would have these comic books in it. And in their actual comic books, they're Guinness Book says they're the world's smallest comic books, and they're just cool to have, and they're not cheap to pick up in mint condition. But I've got a large amount of these in mint, so that's one of the things I'm working towards. I won't finish the collection in 2021, but I'm always looking for them. Most people have never seen them before, so it makes them hard to find because this is exactly the kind of stuff that finds a dumpster. Unfortunately, you know, it could get overlooked very easily, and so I'm looking for that stuff, and just really any general. You know, old stuff. I love Bronze Age and Silver Age, so I'm in agreement with most of you guys on that. So that's it, guys. I've gone on way longer than I had stuff to say. I'm thinking of you, and I wish you the best, okay? Attack life, be awesome, and know that I'm thinking of you, okay? I don't have too much more to say. Thank you. Silver Age Dave is out.